May I present you? We've got a lot of familiar faces for me in here, Tyler. I know they're not to you, but they are to us, and great people to work with. And you're going to be seeing a lot of these guys around here. But we talked about Tyler Smith last night and our pick, and had a few guys write about it today. A little bit on the pick, but yeah. And you just don't write everything the way I say it, do you? But seriously, we are excited to be sitting here with this young man. And I just don't mind telling you, it's eerie to me, some of the similarities, not only physically, but the youth and the circumstances behind sitting with you as when Tyrone Smith came from Southern Cal. It's eerie, the similarity of the circumstances. Now the great news is he's going to get to be here, and you're going to get to be here, working together and becoming everything you can be. But listen, y'all have got a lot of questions. Coach, I'd like for you to say something here before they get into their questions about Tyler and Stephen, of course, anything. But we're glad to have you here, and I want you to introduce your mom and your brother here for us, please.
Okay, so this is Patricia Smith, my avatar, my creator right there. This is my little brother Isaac, my partner in crime. So, they've been with me. This is our unit right here. She taught me everything I know now. All the on the field stuff you see, she got more of it there than you know.
Well, Coach,
do I have to say nice things about the media too?
Nothing.
It's great to see everybody again, and twice in 12 hours. But hey, it's obviously a very exciting day. We're so thrilled to have Tyler, part of our program. Most importantly, part of the Dallas Cowboys. I just think, on a personal note, I think it's what a special opportunity for a young man to grow up in Fort Worth and now have this opportunity. So I know you have a lot of questions, and we can get into how we see him getting his reps in the positions. We can get in it here as you'd like. But with that, let's open it up for questions.
No.
And Stephen, you got any comments you'd like
I'm
to
good.
make?
I'm good.
Coach Jones is going to hand it over to Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, when you're ready to go.
Come to these things, man.
Got that straight. Remember that out there.
Coach Jerry, not Coach Jerry.
Okay.
Tyler, is this sunk in for you? Just talk about just your surreal night last night and to come out here. How do you feel?
Man, it was definitely probably the best day of my life, pound for pound. I can't think anything better. Just to hear the phone call and have it be, you see the star on top of your phone and you're looking there, because there's a delay on the TV. Not many people tell you, but I see him on the phone. I'm like, oh, he ain't calling me. So I'm like, dang. I'll just wait my turn. And I see it pop up, I answer, and I hear Coach Jones here. I hear him, and it's just like, it doesn't even hit you till you go home and you go to sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night, and my phone's still going off. I'm like, wow, I'm really a Dallas Cowboy. So it's the biggest blessing I've ever had in my life, and I'm definitely gonna make the most of it.
Tyler, take us through the last couple hours here. Who have you met? What have you talked about? And what's the star been like so far?
Man, so I met a lot of the media staff. They took me through the bus. They had me doing TikToks and all these other things. Getting my name out there. I met Coach Philbin. I met Coach right here. Yes, sir. Yeah. So we talked for a while. And it's just been. I took a picture of my new jersey. And, it's an honor to wear that number as well. Larry Allen wore that number. And, I see a lot of, the adversity he went through, like, young in his life. I feel like I resonate with a lot of that, So it means a lot to be able to wear that and kind of carry on the lineage there for sure. But it's been
doing Good Morning Football in New York, and the guys told me they were really impressed with you during the break because you want to know the history of Wellington Mara. And Sean Harris says a lot of these young guys don't necessarily talk about history. Are you a true student of the game?
Oh, yes, ma'am. My mother is a liberal arts major. She was a middle school history teacher. So I've always had a love for history, ever since I was a kid, I've studied the game. I studied the players. I probably watched every E60, every football documentary in existence. Like, and just to hear and talk to people who have been in my shoes even now, like to learn more about the game, how it started, where it comes from. It's always a blessing to me because you always want to know how you got to where you are from where you came from. So it's been great. It has. That was interesting. I got to talk to him and kind of reveal that trivia I knew there. So
You were talking about Larry Allen.
Oh, yeah.
And can you talk a little bit more about him and growing up here? Did you follow some of the Cowboys offensive linemen, and who are some of the guys that you really followed the most as far as line?
Man, I definitely say, I'm a younger guy. So Larry Allen, he before my time, but I caught on with a lot of him in the media, Sonoma State, all the adversity he went through to get here, and, the Hall of Fame career he had, just the way he plays. But Tyron Smith, definitely, Zach Martin, Connor Williams, those are guys I grew up watching, guys I grew up trying to embody their game into my own. Like, so just to be in this building, have some of these dudes, call some of these dudes my teammates now and be able to learn from them. Like, I feel like that's going to take my game leaps into the future, and it's just a great wellspring of knowledge to have for myself.
Not many people get the opportunity to play in the NFL so close to home. Your unit, as you mentioned, what does this mean to you to be here with them? Man,
it meant everything. Like, I'm telling you, last night when I saw the star pop up, I damn near had to pinch myself because a lot of my friends, they told me, you're going to the Cowboys, and I'm like, I don't know, like, you never know, you never do, and so just seeing it pop up, finally, realizing that I'm coming home and I get to, play for my state, play for my city. Like, there was just no other feeling like it, man. I'm telling you, like, I had to hold back the tears because I can't cry yet, not until I done some more. We just getting started.
You mentioned watching those East. You had surgery on your knees in high school.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Can you walk us through that and what it means to have gone through that and then to be drafted by your hometown team, the Dallas Cowboys?
So I was born with Blanche disease, so I was bow-legged. I was more bow-legged in my left than my right. So I had a procedure done in high school my junior year before my senior year. And, I had to fight back from it for sure. It was early adversity. There was nothing I could have done. But I knew in order to get to this point here, it was something I had to do. And just, fighting back from that, seeing, some colleges maybe lose interest, some colleges maybe not believe, in who I was. Like, it added chips on my shoulder for sure. Because, I knew who I was. I knew who I was born to be. And I knew, my Creator had more in store for me. So just working back from that, like, it revitalized my love for the grind almost. Like, I had great coaches in Tulsa who continually helped build upon me, like help me build upon myself. And just, fighting back, I want every kid to know out there, because some kids may be going through more adversity than me, that it is possible. And, the body of work that you put in will lead you to your goals. Like, you can accomplish anything. I truly believe that. I truly believe God is good and that, He's led me here. He brought me home. So, anybody can do it. But
since you're a student of the game, I'm curious about your favorite player and your favorite team. In your college bio, it said the Saints and Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. Okay, so Barry Sanders, he's probably my favorite player. He's not a lineman, but I watched every E60, and just seeing how talented he was and the way he carried himself in the game. Like, he did all these amazing things, making dudes miss, breaking people down, and things like that. And at the end of the play, he would just give the ref the ball because it was so commonplace for him. It was something that just became muscle memory for him, and I really admired that about him. Like, when you do something special, like, yeah, you should celebrate with your teammates and all these things, but it should be so commonplace. It's almost like breathing for you. And, like, as far as the Saints go, my mother, she's a Shreveport, Louisiana native. And so, in 2009, when the Saints brought it home, like, I did not hear the end of it. Like, it was just, that was a great year. And so, she wouldn't have me put it any other way. Like, she thinks it's sacrilegious, but, I'm a Dallas Cowboy now.
She is too.
She is too now. So,
You described yourself as a comedian. Where does that come from?
That definitely comes from my upbringing. Like, in our household, laughter is a prevalent theme. Like, when I was a kid, I was a big kid. Like, I used to, accidentally break things, stuff like that. And, like, to get out of trouble, I'd make mom laugh. So I'd be, doing goofy stuff or, like, whatever I could do just to make her kind of forget about it or, like, kind of crack her focus so I could, like, like, get away or try to, like, slide my way out of stuff. She rarely forgot, but, it just, like, just doing that, I love to see people laugh. Like, I love to laugh myself. Like, it helps you live longer for sure. And, like, you see how young she look right here. Like, I think I done did my job.
There's a juxtaposition there in terms of there are a lot of laughs off the field, but you set the tempo on it with your physicality. How does that switch get turned for you internally?
I mean, for me, like, it's always been there for sure. Like I said, I had a chip on my shoulder coming out of college, but, I truly want to be the greatest, like, at what I do. Like, I put everything that I have into what I do. And even when I got my name called, like, I was so ecstatic in the moment. Like, it's the greatest day of your life. But, like, immediately in my mind, I'm thinking, what groundwork do I have to lay next to get to where I want to get? Because, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Not everybody gets to do this. And just for me to be sitting here before y'all, like, this is a blessing beyond my imagination. I know there's more to do. I know there's more in me, and we're just scratching the surface.
When was the time where maybe you thought I had a chance to play in the NFL? Like, was there a moment that ever happened in your life?
So coming into college as a freshman, I knew that Travis Gibson, he was a defensive end on our team at the time. I knew he was probably going to end up going to the National Football League. And the guy in front of me, Chris Ivey, he had got hobbled up in fall camp, and so I got a lot more reps against him. Like, I went against Travis one time, and I kind of locked him up. I was like, okay, I got you right here with me. And at that point, like, I knew, like, like, this is just beginning for me. Like, I'm 18 years old right now. If I keep trending like this, if I keep putting in the work like this, anything is possible for me. It was probably at that moment that, I really knew, like, it was real. Like, I was really had a grasp in my hands. So definitely then, probably.
Tyler, our first chance to kind of talk with you now, you seem like a pretty nice, upbeat guy, talking about football history and all that. But watching you on tape, there's a little bit of a ferocious side to you, it seems. I mean, how would you describe that part of your game and what you look like and feel like on the field?
Man, I wouldn't almost call it an alter ego, but that's maybe that's what it is, kind of. When I get on the field, it's us versus them. That's just what it has to be. My job as an offensive lineman is to set the tone and protect the quarterback. And that dude across from me, his job is to hit my quarterback and try to basically blow up what we're doing. So every time I line up across from somebody, I think, I play with the mindset that they think they're better than me. They're trying to take food out of my mouth. They're trying to take food out of my teammates' mouths. They're trying to, put us down. Because this is, at the end of the day, I got guys in this building who are trying to feed their families. And, it takes all 11 of us to do that. So when I line up across, I like to set the tone. And I want to make them think twice about getting up when they go against me for sure. So, I'm going to continue to trend on that.
You talked about you starting left guard and tackle. Have you ever played guard before? Just talk about how you can transition the inside.
So I definitely practiced it all. In high school, my senior year, I played guard predominantly. And, I'm willing to play wherever. Like, I practiced it all throughout the pre-draft process. Even in college, Coach Hansen had me getting snaps everywhere along the line. So wherever they put me, I'm ready to go.
Did you pay attention to anything, stuff that was written about you or said about you coming into the draft? And if so, what's the number one thing that someone's gotten wrong about you?
I mean, definitely, I try to stay away from the media, definitely. I feel like, everybody has an opinion. It's like, like buttholes, everybody has one. But
That was awesome.
like, no.
Yeah.
But one misconception I felt like people had was probably my maturity level. I'm a young guy, but due to my upbringing, my mom did a wonderful job in helping me kind of, gain responsibility and a sense of work ethic at an early age. And I wanted people to know that, I'm trying to constantly improve, like, in everything that I do, and that, I'm just scratching the surface of what I can be. So you have to block a lot of that stuff out, because for some guys, they may look at that and you never want somebody else's opinion of you to become the reality, and I simply won't let it. So I understand criticism, I take it well, but I'm always working to get better at the same time.
You were saying last night that your mind clicked pretty quickly to like, well, I need to lay the groundwork now. What do you need to improve on most going up to this next level, do you feel, as far as the groundwork that you need to lay to be successful here?
Man, I definitely want to get everything, moving together, like, whether it be hands or feet. But, I want to improve upon everything, like, even the things that, I'm perceived to do well. Like, to me, if you stop in the relentless pursuit of getting better, like, you're going to stall out, you're going to stagnate. Like, I'm competing with dudes who are probably in high school right now. Even now, I'm competing with dudes who are in the league right now who are all pros. I know what it's going to take to do that. I know the groundwork is going to take. I have wonderful vets in this building, and Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele. Like, those guys, that's a wellspring of knowledge for me to learn from. So I'm definitely going to do that and continue to improve my game for sure.
Tyler, have you had the chance to talk to any of your new teammates yet? And what have they said?
I have not had a chance to talk to him. Yeah, I did see. I recently learned that Dak Prescott followed me, and that was that was surreal. I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about right now? And I got on my socials, and I saw it, and I was like, man, I'm like, that's really Dak right there. Like, he's showing love. So, hopefully I get a chance to talk to him in the next few days for sure. That's gonna be cool for sure.
Mike, you were saying last night that Tyler's going to work on the left side. In transitioning to guard, will it be primarily guard early because he hasn't done it as much as tackle, or how are you going to work through that?
I think the reality, if you break down the reps, and I think you got to factor, Tyron Smith where he is in his career. So I mean, just no different than the last 2 years. We'll probably be in the realm of 40 to 50% snaps at time where it takes it. Obviously, that'll be an opportunity for Tyler to get a significant number at left tackle, and then also the opportunity to get the left guard reps, counter with Connor. So we had a chance to visit on this morning. We'll focus, Tyler as a left side player, working both left guard and left tackle.
Todd, can you discuss each of your encounters with your offensive line coaches in the pre-draft process? First, the classroom with Coach Philbin, and then with Blasco in your workout. Just walk us through each of them and what your impressions were.
So Coach Philbin was actually at my workout. I had that wrong, but so he came, and it was actually a joint workout. And, we got some good work in. We went up to the classroom. He showed us some things, and we did well. Like I knew it to go well. Leading up, I didn't have as much contact as like I had with some other teams for sure. But I knew like the sentiment and the love was there. I just didn't know how it was gonna happen. But it was great. Like he had me doing things that I write in my pre-draft notebook. Like I take notes on everything. So I'll be practicing like whether it just be vertical sets, things like that, or hands, like the way he was coaching me. So that's kind of what we did there.
The pre-draft training process. Do you feel like your game just through that whole process has already gotten more advanced from when you last stepped off the field in Tulsa?
Absolutely. I've got to work with like some tremendous vets, and Marcus Cannon, he currently plays for the Texans, but he came out to Miami and did work with me, and he had a legendary coach in Dante Scarnecchi, and he just taught me like the hands through the window thing, stuff like that. And like just hearing it from those guys, it can be so much different. Like, cause coaches, they do a great job as well. But when you hear from players who have been in the heat of battle, who know these things, who have been to like Von Miller's pass rush summit, you just learn like all these new keys, all these new things, and you're able to see it in a different perspective and really apply it into practice and like games. So like it's definitely my game has definitely taken leaps, not only from like physical but a cerebral standpoint. But we still have a lot of work to do for sure.
What was your film study process like in college? What was your film study process like in college?
Man, so I did a little bit of everything. Like after practice, I'll be the first one like watching tape. Like sometimes I watch it so early, all the views weren't even downloaded, so I have to like come back later. But Coach Hansen, he did a great job as well. Like there'd be sometimes we'd be up there watching film till 9 o'clock at night. You could quit. You could ask him on this. You could call him after if you want. And like he did a great job. Like even throughout the pre-draft process, I talked to him. I was like, Coach Hansen, man, like. I want to know what all 11 are doing on all sides of the ball. And he was willing to, put in work while he was working at, USC. He had a whole other job, and, he was willing to take out time in the day for me to kind of help bring me along even more and kind of get to where I need to go. So, it was I was watching every day that I could, whether it be the opponent or ourselves, especially myself, though, for sure.
Tyler, you mentioned age earlier and being younger. When you're weighing leaving some college eligibility on the table, what kind of factors are those that are maybe telling you to hang around for another year in college, and how do you weigh that when you make the final decision?
Man, I thought the biggest factor for sure was mostly on the educational side. You always want to leave college with your degree. My mom is an educator. Like she has 3 degrees herself. So for me, I thought it was big. Like even for my kids in the future, and just like knowing their pops has a degree, coming out, and I still do plan on going back and doing that when I have time. And whatever that is. But, after talking to my coaches, after talking to my mom, after talking to, a lot of friends, like, the thing that was most prominent was following your heart. And I just knew for me at that point in time that it was best for me as a player and as a man to, go ahead and declare. Because, I wanted to learn from the best. I wanted to be the best. So, I have to go against the best. So that's kind of what I was thinking there.
Tyler, you've talked about how much you love coaching and how much room you have to grow. Where did you grow the most between when you got to Tulsa and now, or where has your game changed the most?
Definitely cerebrally. Like, as you learn more about the game, as you understand like the ins and outs, like the game slows down. Like, you know, I didn't believe it at first, but you know, just things like safety rotations, like changing like the D lineman's assignment and stuff like that. That was things that kind of blew my mind when I learned it, because now I'm able to move faster, like things like that. And Coach Hansen was great in that. Like, you know, I had Coach Blesh for the first 7 months, and he was great as well. But Coach Hansen bringing in, you know, that new mindset, you know, the new schematic things that we were putting in, like it took my game leaps and bounds in terms of that stuff for sure.
All right, thank you.